And as always, it is a beautiful day for some DSA, my friends, and welcome back to the Cozy Club. In today's video, guys, we're going to talk about the top 5 things that I want to see come to DSA. Disney Sorcerer's Arena has done a great job since launch, continuing to release more and more characters. They're releasing fun ways to get these characters. We have raids coming up right here down the pipeline, and they've got some updates and quality of life updates that we've been asking for. And I think they've done a great job overall, given having a pandemic, competing with games that have been well established for a while now. And in general, I'm giving DSA a very high score on how they've done. Now, again, in my opinion, I do think that Glu has done a tremendous job with communication, getting weekly updates. It's not like we're getting updates once a month. We get weekly updates for new things coming to this game, so it doesn't even get remotely stale. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first thing that I want to see come into Disney Sorcerer's Arena, my friends. And that's going to be something very easy, and that is new character reworks. Now, they've done a great job. Aladdin, Jasmine, Genie, Davy Jones, just to name a few, have gotten touch-ups to their kit. These older characters just can't hold up stat-wise, ability-wise, and overall, if you just look at their overall use and viability in the battlefield, they just obviously cannot keep up with the Elsa, Baymax, Bubbles, even Prince Eric's of the world, because there's just not enough in their kits. Now, don't get me wrong, I am loving these new characters coming out and the abilities and the creativeness behind these abilities. However, I do want to see these old characters get some love, whether it's through a lead of another character that comes into the game, refreshing all the characters around it. Like, we've got Oceanic leads that make old Oceanics a lot better. Would love to see that for the older characters. So yes, you can always catch up stats through new gear releases. However, I think what is most important is to look at all of the abilities on these old characters. Again, some of these new ones coming in have pretty much the entire kit of an old character built into 1 or 2 abilities, guys. Would love to see more functionality of all these characters so that we can use and choose who we want to use on the battlefield and have a fighting shot at the very least. Whether it be Pocahontas or Simba, we've made a top rework video already. You guys can check that out in the top right-hand corner. But I would absolutely love for some of our favorite Disney characters to get touched up so that we can use them on more and more teams. Now, speaking of characters, the second thing I want to see come to this game is a complete refresh of the stores in the exchange, guys. Guys, these exchanges have been about the same since global launch. We did have the Frozen characters introduced into them, but I would love to see a time cycle of characters getting released, and then we kind of know and have a good feeling of when they're going to either go into energy nodes, grand energy nodes, or obviously in the store exchanges. Would love to see characters that have been out for quite a while now to make their way over to the exchanges, like the Lotzos and Chunks of the world. It would be great to throw them into the Arena Club exchange, because especially if you're late game, you definitely have all these guys maxed out. And even if you are a free-to-play player, you probably already have most of the characters unlocked in the Arena in the Club exchange, or at least obviously the best characters unlocked in that mode. Would love to see more characters dive into that, or just a new exchange mode altogether, so that we have more of a release cadence on when these characters do come into the store. Now, I think this would be an absolute gift to the free-to-play community. When making my farming guide, I kind of looked back at my old farming guide, and not much has changed on what I could recommend to go ahead and use your currency on. So again, I would love for us not to make the decision on what guide to use the energy and the grand campaign energy on, but instead we can have some different options within the stores. All right, now for the third thing that I want to see come to Disney Sorcerer's Arena, guys, is some more PvP love, my friends. Love Club Conquest, love doing live PvP. We found some fun ways on the Twitch channel to make live PvP even more fun. By the way, check the description below if you want to join in on the Wheel of Characters, which is one of my favorite segments, thinking of making a quick video on it. However, overall, we need a new live PvP mode, to battle our friends in-game. Would love to go head-to-head, not have to try to time when we click battle to face each other. Would love to go right up and say, hey, I think my team is better than yours, and then match up to see who's the best, and that's going to give a lot of replayability to the game itself. I would love to see roster versus roster. Other mobile games have something like this, and I would love to see this come to DSA. And they're going to be matching them up your roster strength versus someone with a similar roster strength, and then you guys battle it out through a tournament, rising up the ranks and trying to climb as high as you can. I think this would bring such a refresh to the game and so much replayability, because you would have to max your roster out just like Club Conquest, but instead of relying on your club mates, it's all up to you to defeat your opponent and truly claim that you're the strategic master in DSA. Now, by far, I think this is probably the thing I want most in this game. I would love to go head-to-head, strategically climbing up the ranks in a full roster v roster battle, and that's something I'm definitely hope they bring to the game. And since we're on PvP, just a quick side note, yes, I think it'd be great to also have a 1v1 Club Conquest. That way, you're not kind of having a team-up scenario, or people aren't getting mad that they're getting 2v1 or anything like that. I think it'd be great to see a full club versus a full club and see it when it comes down to strategy and strength of roster, who could beat who. Just a side subject, but PvP in general, would love to see that touched up as a complete whole. Now that we've got some great raid PvE content, I think PvP should be the next focus on DSA. So for number 4, it's going to be pretty quick and easy. Now, I do love the PvE content that we have. We are getting raids, and we don't even know what that's going to look like. So I'm absolutely excited to team up with my club and take on these killer raids. But what I would like to see is also some more solo experience PvE options. Yes, I think they should expand on the Towers of Endurance. I definitely don't want that to be a game mode that once you've gotten past mid-game, you're kind of done with. Would love to rise up and have very hard challenges that we have to use. Maybe an endless tower mode, so we go through multiple floors trying to stretch our roster out. And if you can get the furthest you possibly can, well, you get rewarded just a little bit more. It would bring a lot of replayability to the game. I don't know if any of you out there have played Zelda the Wind Waker or any Zeldas, but there were these caves in that game that you would go in and take on these floors, and you would go deeper and deeper and get more rewards. That's what I would love to see come to this game. Some challenging PvE content that I'm inviting. I want to get my butt kicked the first few times around. Now, in PvE, I actually want it to be super challenging because usually that means that it's going to last, and you have to use not just a powerful who's got the most money to defeat it, but strategy to get through. I think Towers of Endurance is a staple game mode that's already well built, so why don't we just add an endless tower mode to go ahead and complement it? Now, at the time of making this video, I don't quite know what we're gonna get when we do defeat raids and what that's going to look like. However, what I do want in general, and I think is desperately needed in this game, is just more ways to acquire resources, my friends. Beta runes is a huge, big topic amongst the entire DSA community. The later you get within the game, whether it be alpha, beta, or gamma, you're going to be stretched in some capacity. And I understand the logic behind it, guys. There's got to be something that whales do to support and help support the game so that we can have this game longer with more longevity. However, what I think needs to come in general is a way to get more of these ruins, mainly because holding back abilities on these characters that we already worked and farmed for so long to get, it's such a long journey already that once we get there, I would love to use these characters at their max capacity right away, because it takes so long to even get them to a usable state. So holding back their abilities, if there's, you know, a new ability tier released, like ultimate abilities or whatever that looks like, I understand them kind of gating that behind. However, now that we've gone into some more time into this game, I think it should be a lot easier upgrading these abilities. Now, combine all these things plus the track record of releasing awesome, iconic Disney characters, and I think DSA is going to be a game that's going to be around for quite some time, my friends. Guys, Disney is in a limitless potential of characters and franchises to dive into. We can take Aladdin and Jasmine and go into the Cave of Wonders. You can have the Tangled crew fight against her mother. Like, there's so much that we can do within this game and so much potential. And I know that Glue has the storytelling, the creativeness to make that happen, guys. Now, I think the future is bright, my friends, for DSA, and I'm excited to keep on covering this game and jumping into the Disney universe every day. Now, out of the 5 things that I listed, guys, go ahead and put down in the comments below, what do you want most to come to this game now that we got raids released? If I didn't mention what you want, go ahead and put that in the comments too. I'll be definitely checking those out, guys. Love reading the comments that you guys leave. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, my friends, stay cozy